Hi everyone, welcome to Soaring Alignment. I'm Julie.
And I'm Denise. Welcome back. How are you
Oh,
going, Julie? Good to see you again. Good to be.
yeah, it's good to be back in this space. And just as just to let everyone know that Denise and I normally do a few minutes, or it's not even a few minutes, just a few sort of seconds of realigning and coming back into the energy of ourselves and Mother Earth, and just grounding ourselves. And it's just so lovely to sink back into that heart space again. Because energetically for me it's been quite an intense week or so, and just a lot of family stuff happening, and not it's the family stuff, and then also at night I feel like I'm working as well. There's things that I'm doing during the night, like either going elsewhere, astral traveling or something. There's obviously something going on, so when I wake up I've just been quite tired. So it's dealing with those day-to-day things when you're probably starting to feel a bit depleted, because of all this stuff going on. I felt a bit well, what's come to me really has been lots of reminders about self-care, and really really needing to look after oneself. And um yeah, like, because we're so, I think there's sort of the way society teaches us is like we have to help others, and when or there's like this sort of thing about when we look after ourselves and love ourselves and all that type of stuff, it can be a bit selfish. It's not, it's not the sort of done thing, or maybe that's just my upbringing. And but actually, self-care and self-love is the most important thing that we can do, in order to be able to be there for ourselves, and then consequently have the energy to help others. So yeah, so I think there's just been, for me, a lot of that happening, but also a lot of awareness coming through. There's been a lot of sort of information about um, the roles that we play, and is that still a role that we want to play? And to really feel into what life are we living? Are we living our own life, or are we living a life that has been told or been passed on to us due to expectations?
Mhm.
So yeah, there's just been a lot happening, really. How about you?
Yeah, certainly. Absolutely. There has been so much been happening. Absolutely. Like not always very easy as well. And heaps of stuff coming up where you think, oh gosh, I thought I dealt with that. And for me personally, I thought like a couple of times with different themes, like, oh no, that's going to happen now. But, instead of going into the old pattern, it's really there to be shown again. And I think it's so much about clarity and being in your heart. And I agree with the self-love is so important. And I think, society has still that little bit of a stigma around that
Mm.
misleading, because if you show up, especially like in our cases where we show up for other people, of course you have to show up for yourself first. And
Mm-hmm. Yes.
for me, I've been, even last weekend gone, I was in a quite in a interesting space of being kind of sad, and not even with thoughts around it, not even a reason, but feeling sadness. And then I had a
Mm.
cry, and then I did I had in the evenings doing chick flicks and snackies in bed because I can, and it
Oh,
just felt so good.
so
It was
good.
very nurturing. I mean, I'm a Cancerian in my sun sign, so it was totally that hermit thing, and nurturing myself. And then since the beginning of this week, I just felt so much more energy building up again. And I did actually quite a few rituals. Always do my morning rituals and grounding and doing certain things. But
Mm.
rituals like facials and, spending time for myself and on myself, which was really, it made me feel so good. I started to glow
Mm.
again. And now the last couple of days, especially, I feel so much zest for
Yes.
life, and I feel like focused and with directions. And then also we have the Mercury retrograde, and I can't deny it. It's like I always feel amazing when it happens. So much energy out of it, and everything comes together for me. And even if there's little hiccups, I think, because that's what people always go like, oh God, Mercury retrograde, I have to back up my computer and do, check my phones and everything. But I think even if these little hiccups come around, I think it's more about the acceptance of it rather than seeing it as a problem. And then it's not a problem because you're allowing just the flow to go through, because then there's so many other things that the Mercury retrograde can bring up, though. It is that.
Yeah, really good things.
Isn't it? Like clear communication, going over your old stuff. There's certainly usually old people from the past can pop up suddenly again. Or I had another thought that I just left my mind. They like being even more spiritual aware or having your gifts heightened. That's how I feel. Like I can always come into the vision anyway, but like Mercury retrograde, I just feel like a
your home,
walking portal. I can feel it, or all the layers and dimensions at the same time. It's not that I have to separate it and be in session or ceremony, but it's actually there, and I feel it so much. So that's why I get a bit excited. Sleeping really well. I've been sleeping many hours. Normally I don't need that much sleep, but I think the energy on the planet with also this eclipse, it's only just about to close that eclipse gateway or portal.
Yes.
There was so much going on. I feel like all our systems, when we're doing our homework and being aware, I think it's these adjustments that make us feel tired and go and have deep sleeps as well.
Well, the sun's been flaring really non-stop for, a while now.
Oh, wow. A long
a long time. We had a X-class flare only a few days ago, and then the Schumann resonance has been, very spiking and things like that. So, it's representative of where we're at as well. There are many reasons that have been given for why that is, but we can't really deny how the planet's responding, or how Earth is responding to all of these different things, and how we're responding.
Yeah.
And so, and I really...
Yeah, you go.
Oh, no, I just think it's really, what you mentioned about being open and allowing, and because, that is the process of life. We're going to have times when we're feeling great, and we're going to have times when things are challenging, and just to really allow that. And I think what was coming through as well is that with that self-love, because we're used to feeling good enough when other people approve of us, whereas when we start to love and accept ourselves, it's the inverse of what we've been told. So it can feel a bit like, if I love and accept myself, it doesn't feel as great as when someone else says that I'm doing really well. But actually, when we start to say, well, no, I'm actually doing well, and I give myself love and all that type of stuff, it starts to become ingrained in us, and we start to realize that actually when we really have that self-love for ourselves, we will see it on the outside as well. It's not the other way around, like getting it from the outside so that we feel good inside. So it's just very interesting. And
it's really like that reverse psychology that has been playing out for so long, and now it's like, hang on a second, And with the Schumann resonance, what just came to mind when you mentioned that, because I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it online as well. It's like this white out, that I call it always a white out. And I feel quite often like that when a lot of energy is coming in. And that's what I see. It's like when you hardly see all the other stuff, but everything becomes just white, and there's so much literally light pouring in. And I just think that's what it is as well with the Schumann resonance. When you look at it, it's near like spiking. It's like, wow, it's really time now.
Yeah, I think so. I think people have been feeling really uncomfortable because it can bring up different things for everyone, and normally the physical, we clear out sometimes that way physically as well. It might be through thoughts, but it might be old aches and pains that come up because of blocked energy and things like that. So it's just to be really kind and nurturing to ourselves when these things happen.
Yeah, it stretches some nice stretches for the body. I think there's a lot of grief release as well at the moment, so it's really nice to open the pecs up, and you can do it again
Yeah.
and just opening the heart, and yeah, so much love coming in. Exactly right. And then
Mm.
today, you might watch it today, but even if you watch it afterwards, it's Friday the 13th, and
Yay.
also saw this morning it's the only one in 2022, which I didn't know either. And it's such a strong day. It feels like it's always for me the divine feminine coming in so strong. For
Not
me,
what they say, and like they try to make
oh,
it a bad thing, and like, oh, it's bad luck, but actually it's not.
it's quite amazing actually, because even if you look way, way, way back, it's always been the honoring of the goddess. And the 13 in numerology as well, it would turn into a 4, right? It's the heart. It's all about the heart center. And the Friday, the goddess Freya, the Nordic goddess Freya, she's connected to that. So it's again, it's love and fertility and strength coming in. So yeah, for me, it's always that. So that's powerful, potent energy, and we all have it within ourselves, of course.
That's right. And I think it links in with the allowing, and allowing our hearts to guide us always. Let that be the guide forward, because that's the only truth that we have, and that's our superpower.
Yeah,
to be able to be led that way. So
yeah, it's funny, like when you just said that, I just feel this really interesting energy. It's like a pull. It's like my back is just opening up.
Wow, it must be the back of the heart, isn't it?
Yeah, but more on the top. I feel it really on the top, but it's nearly like the column to the crown. I feel like a different, like an opening. Yeah, interesting.
Amazing.
Yeah. Do you think we should go into the cards?
Yes, I've got it.
You ready? Let's do it.
I'm ready.
Let's see what's coming up.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Oh, me too. What's the message for the second half? A bit funny, which is probably not surprising because of the energy at the moment. Funny is in like, a bit sort of wonky or twisted and coming out funny. So we've got we've got all major arcana, which is not surprising. I'll show you in a second, but we've just got at the bottom of the deck the 2 of Wands, and so that normally represents like someone looking out, and they've got the world in their hands and they're like, what's next? Where am I going? Where do I want to go? Okay. And I think it's a great time during Mercury retrograde, but also these intense energies to really rethink where we want to go in life. Like, does it really matter if we have this certain job or have this certain house or have this amount of money? At the core of it, what is it that we're actually after? What is the feeling that we're after? And to focus on that rather than because when it's kind of like we've been told, like you mentioned before, that reversal idea, which is, well, if we get those things, we'll feel better, we'll feel good. But actually, it's like when you identify what it is you want to feel and you start to work on feeling those things, that's when you draw in the things that kind of represent those things. Yeah. Hopefully that makes some sense.
It does. It makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So then we've got the Hangman, and hopefully you can see that. Yeah. And so this is someone who looks like he's just hanging upside down and he might be stuck, but it's a period of enlightenment. And sometimes we need to be still, and like what we've described, like going through those periods of challenges or feeling like, where am I going? I have no idea. It's actually giving us that time and space to really go deeper, and what is it that we really want, and what it's all all of the things that we're going through at the moment gives us clarity. And we, because of the way we've been taught about things, there's this duality, and like I have or everything is positive or negative, and I always have to focus on the positive. But those things that might not feel so good actually lead us to the things that feel good, and it's this sort of like back and forth, and it's just part of the journey. So yeah, that's really a great reminder for me as well to be okay if things don't move.
For me too, if you don't mind, if I just add something to that as well. That's exactly what I thought. And so I looked at it and I felt like it's nearly like it turns your world upside down. And, you know, for me to have old patterns come up, or behavior patterns, thought patterns, that was that, you know, it really got me, it got me good, you know. It was like the carpet ripped under my feet there for a couple of days through the last few weeks. And I thought like, oh my gosh, but really what it did, it helped me to gain perspective, exactly that. And I feel so amazing now. But without that, you know, it's always that, you know, how can we feel the extremes or the polarity if we don't see the other stuff? So yeah, he really, that stood out for me as well, exactly what you then said. Yeah.
Oh, so
like
good.
Thank you.
Thank you. I feel that in my heart. Like, funnily enough, you got justice, which is about that, you know, balance. Because I don't know if you can see it quite clearly. He's holding, which side? This side. He's holding some scales, and so.
Oh yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah, sorry if the lighting's not so great. But justice is generally about, you know, bringing things back into balance, or, you know, for example, it is that word justice, like wherever you've been wronged or where things have not been right for you, things come back into balance, or you get, you know, someone was horrible to you, then something good, you know, it's kind of like things come back into their natural state. And so it's about finding, I feel, that balance within yourself, or coming back into balance with yourself. Especially when you go through that period of, you know, an awakening or enlightenment about where you're going. It's rather than perceiving things as, you know, bad or good or whatever, it's actually bringing us back into this balance and coming back into ourselves. And I also feel like it's the balance between our masculine and feminine as well. It's like, you know, allowing our feminine side to really be present and to hear her, allow her to guide us forward, and then allow the masculine to take the action to move us forward. So that feels like that part as well.
Yeah, strong.
Strong. And yeah, because normally we don't get so many major arcanas, and these are about big themes. So it's a really big time that we're going through at the moment. And then we've got the devil card, and this is just, for me, like, you know, you've got people attached to the devil and things like that. And the devil for me represents, you know, addictions and things like that. You know, what are we addicted to? What thoughts are we addicted to? It could be physical addictions like food or drink or whatever it is, but those are representative anyway of, you know, a thought pattern or a belief. And not wanting to maybe deal with those. And so it's just like when, like during this time, just be aware of some of the things that you're holding on to that maybe you don't need to anymore, or that served you in the past but maybe need to let go. And it might be, you know, I'm not good enough. Well, it's not true. It's time to let that go. Or I'm not lovable. Well, that's not true. Time to let that go. You know, all those different things which make us, then it forms physical addiction. So it's yeah, I feel like it's a really strong message there about that one.
Oh well, that's exactly what came up for me, all that stuff, you know, and the attachments and everything. And I think for people, they need to understand it's not just like sex and drugs and rock and roll and, you know, drinking heaps, but it's exactly, you know, it can be anything. Addiction to certain experiences, certain people that you keep attracting into your life, certain family playouts, or, you know, dynamics, food. Well, we're both foodies, you know, and certainly wouldn't like this place without all the delicious food. But, you know, I definitely have an area where I can go into the addictive behavior with food as well, you know.
Absolutely.
So this card is just spot on. Totally. So yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so that's really, you know, that. Yeah.
Wow, far out, man. Oh, that's like kaput.
Simple, easy.
Wow, man. I love it. It's so, yeah, what can I say? So on the point, hey, on point.
Aww.
Let's see with these guys as well. What other messages we got for the rest of May? And also, you know, just quickly, we got on Sunday/Monday, depending where we are, we got that full moon in Scorpio coming up. I think we mentioned it last video, but that's also when that eclipse portal is closing up. So the energies are so high, like far out. And it could be, you might not get like me where you're like super excited and like buzzing. You could feel that you're super tired and have a lot of body pain. Just be aware and mindful that that's connected to all of this. All right.
Also, just sorry, I thought I might just mention that Jupiter as well has moved from Pisces into Aries. So that could be also the big spark of energy moving forward and creativity, you know, because Jupiter is the planet of expansion and it rules, you know, I don't know, travel, creativity, all that type of stuff. So when it goes into Aries, which is all about moving forward and taking action,
taking
action. Can be a lot of good,
No wonder I'm starting to think about my travels to see my family again. I've got so much creative flow at the moment the last few days and everything coming together. In fact, I'm going to travel today after the video. Not to Europe, but, you know, traveling down the coast after a long time.
It won't be long.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Beautiful cards. More insights for the rest of this month. Anything we need to be aware of? Oh, yeah.
Another doozy coming towards us.
I got 3 cards here in front of me and I just flicked over the one that's on the bottom and it's number 43, the Lady of Sorrows. And
oh wow.
Yeah, so I was definitely the Lady of Sorrows last weekend, you know, and it can be melancholy, it can be sadness, and it can be all of that. And when you're a little bit, what I see now when I look at her, it's like a cloak that falls over you. And I've heard from so many people they had a bit of a tough time, if not on the weekend, then in the last few weeks. But yeah, we're moving out of that. Oh, I can really feel it. Actually, I can still feel that energy. She's like, so it's like, you know, she doesn't mind to be in that space either. It's like when we're still so in that. But yeah, so we're moving out. I'm going like, woo.
But you know, I feel a lot of beauty in that as well.
Yeah, it is.
Like for me, when I look at it, I actually think it's actually a beautiful stage as well in life.
It's as long as you don't get flooded by it, it feels like, you know, bring your awareness to it, allow it to come up, and then moving on. It's like that beautiful movement, you know, where everything is comfortable.
Right.
We are in a
if we just go with it.
I like that. I agree. I personally, I don't mind to have a good cry anyway. All right, I'll put her over there. And then the 3 cards that came up before that is number 15, the Elven Knight. And it's very much about that, you know, we can be captivated in our mind. He's very much about that, you know, where we don't even realize, like, we sidetrack ourselves. And that's how I felt the last few days. I felt like, oh my God, there's so much I still have to do. What happened? Why was it feeling like I was on hold or pause apart from work? There's so many things I still need to do and want to do. And so the Elven Knight, he speaks of that a little bit. It's like we don't even realize we are in this airy fairy world because it's a day-to-day stuff and you just do one day after the next until you realize, hang on, I was meant to do all these other things in my creative flow and I want to be back in that. So yeah, I think it's really important to just be aware of your mind and where it's at.
Yeah.
And because otherwise what happens is number 49, the oh no, that no. And that's when we really feel discombobulated. It's like, and flat, you know, if you look at the card, it's so flat. It's so the stagnation, the 3D stuff. And yeah, we don't really want to be in that for too long because then we go crazy, you know, you look at his eyes and it's just going quite mad. It's
Yeah.
marvelous. And when you look at the
Had enough.
state of the world, easy, it's quite easy to go into that state, but that's actually what holds us back as well. I feel like that energy just drags us down.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then where we're going from here is a beautiful number 41, the Lady of Unicorns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's super gorgeous. And it's, you look at her and it's, we have this strong community around. And about the unicorns, they connect with the horn through the wisdom and the knowledge. And I feel like that expansion, she's completely open here. So it's that heart
I
open.
felt that.
Yeah.
I just like that.
Yeah, I can see it, you're moving around. It's that, and totally acceptance and love and compassion coming through. That's what I feel with her. And then there's with the little pearls, whenever you see pearls or jewels or eggs, it's usually when more gifts are coming in. I get actually a high tone in my left ear right now. Feels like something coming through already.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
I'm hearing magic as well, like lots of magic coming through.
Yeah, and that's it, right? Because that's our birthright. And when we say magic, it is the manifesting of the beautiful things we deserve. Yeah, so that's her. And when I look at them, there's so much beautiful community around that's all very supportive and very grounding. Yeah, and that uplifting, if you compare to the other two cards, it's so heavy. And that's where we are going back to this, so it's uplifting energy coming in.
That's amazing. Wow. Thank you so much. Basically, the next 2 weeks, maybe even the next 6 months are going to be really interesting.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. But this was great. That's why we do this, because we always used to do it for ourselves. And it's still like we have our conversation here. But sharing it with
we get to share.
Guys. Yeah.
That's right. And we love that, we hope that it helps you, you guys on your journey and things like that, and know that you're not alone, whatever you're going through. Yeah.
That's right.
Good, bad, whatever experience. Not that it is a good or bad, but yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. And it's just, that's the support, right? Because we're all one. We are all one, and it's like family. And sometimes you just hear something in a recording like this where you go, oh, that's exactly how I felt. That makes sense now. And you take the pressure off yourself and allow that. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, and thank you everyone for being here, watching us and sending your beautiful messages. We really love it.
Yeah, we get heaps out of it. It's nice. Always nice to hear from you guys. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Well, till next time.
Yeah, till next time. Thank you so much for your time, Julie. That was so lovely. I feel really good.
Yeah, we're both feeling really great after this video. It's
always,
so
right? But especially today, I feel like, wow, okay. All right, we see you guys in a couple of weeks again.
That's right. Lots of love.
Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.